Okay, so I guess I
So
can start. I'm gonna share the screen. I prepared the presentation for you. So today the idea is to give you really an overview because there is a lot to say about it, but I choose specific topics, and I will tell you also why in a second. Just really to give you, do you see the screen? I won't see you, but
yes,
okay. So it's also good for me if sometimes I hear some voice, so I know that you're still there and that you're following and you are not lost. So as I was saying, we will have an overview. We will talk about KA2 Erasmus Plus projects. You said that some of you participated or tried to participate, so maybe together we can see what we can do. Okay, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Martina Mangia, I'm from Italy. And so how did I get into Erasmus Plus and in the Erasmus Plus world? So basically I started as a participant, as I think most of us. And I was a volunteer in the European Solidarity Corps. When I did it, it was called still European Voluntary Service. I did it twice because I like it so much. The first
Martina,
time
sorry to interrupt you.
Mhm.
I don't get to see your presentation. I see a click to exit full screen.
Okay. Let me see if, because I was sharing, let's see, no, screen. Now? Do you see it
Yes,
now?
I see. Yes.
yes.
Okay, cool, perfect. That was the first page. As I was saying, it's going to be an overview, and I'm going to introduce myself. Now you see the pictures and everything. Okay? Yes, no? Do you see it?
Yep, now everything is visible.
Okay, I couldn't hear anything. So basically, as I was saying, I was a volunteer in a project. I like it so much. I was in Bulgaria, and then I traveled a bit. I participated in some youth exchanges, training courses. I wanted to do another voluntary project and I did it in Indonesia. It was really cool. So basically, I was a participant, a volunteer, group leader. I tried everything. And at the end, I wanted to study European project management, like for real. I attended a course and then I started working as a freelancer. And right now I'm working as European project manager, grant writer, and facilitator. And so, because I know what it means to start as a participant, and when you start to hear about project, about KA2, etc., and you're like a bit lost, I decided the way we will explore the KA2, okay? Just from someone that knows a bit, but not so much, like knows the Erasmus Plus word, but is still a bit lost. So just a little question for you. Do you know then what is the KA2? What are the KA2 projects about? A, they focus on organizing large-scale sport events for youth across Europe. B, they foster cooperation for innovation and the exchange of good practices among organizations. C, they are solely about sending youth people abroad for cultural exchange programs. You can vote by voice because I will not see the chat.
I'm putting all money on option B.
Oof, all money. How much is it?
Everything I have, my bank accounts, my house, my everything.
Oof, that's a lot. You must be really, really sure about your answer. Okay, I see. Someone else?
We
Any
can
other
also text
answer?
it if you want. Like, it might be easier.
Because I'm not sure I can see you and share the screen at the same time. No. B. Okay. Let's see. Or someone can read the answer. B, B, B. So everyone is for B, right? Okay, cool. Let's see. I could be rich in a moment. No, it's B. So you're right. It's to foster cooperation for innovation and exchange good practices. Let's go a bit deeper into the different key actions really quickly, just to make you understand the difference. So the key actions are 3. And so why there are these 3 key actions? So basically, it's just the way that the European Union has designed the way they want to work for the quality and the relevance of education and training across Europe. So it's just a way to organize the work, and I like to see them at like at 3 different levels. Okay, let's say the key action 1 that we all, I mean, most of us knows, like the youth exchanges, the mobility, mobility for youth workers is key action 1, meaning it's just mobility for individuals. So just one person doing an experience abroad and doing different things. Key action 2, it's cooperation between partnerships. So from being one person, now we are like collaborating, different organizations collaborating with each other for the same goals, let's say, again, to innovation, exchange good practice, and make some good impact. The action 3, it's the next level. So what we want to do, we want to support the policy reform. So basically, from collaborating between organizations, we are going to, let's say, more, I don't want to say political level, but let's say more community level. We really want to change the policies, you know, it's more talking to the boss, you know, like having a wider impact. Just quickly, key action 1, as I would say, mobility. There are like for students, for staff, teacher, and youth worker, youngsters. So it's only for individuals. Then we have key action 2. We have the strategic partnerships that are the ones, let's say for our sector, it's the main goal we work with. But then there are also other things like with knowledge alliances and sector scale alliances, but it's more for higher education or to promote employability. It's a bit different, but still it's a possibility, and I wanted you to know about it. And then we have the key action 2. And again, it's about like more policy and knowledge, like in the fields of education training. It's possible to have some pilot activities, more like research, support of networks. It's a bit a different level, but there are still some youth projects there too. Personally, I work in a key action 3. So it's good to explore it, because it's a bit like we were saying this with Jesus. It's a bit unknown. Not many people know about it, but know that there are some good opportunities also for the youth sector. So now, why we should write the Action 2 projects? Of course, to have an impact on the community, to foster innovation, creativity. We work with international partners, so we enhance international cooperation. Working together, let us know, allow us to improve the quality, the relevance of the education, to work, you know, and also on the professional level, we have more opportunities, we can improve. There are a lot of good reasons for applying for Key Action 2 projects. And now, from where we start, because of course, all good, all nice, but then we have to go to get into action. My suggestion is, I mean, let's say, okay, when you write a project, but this is for Key Action 1, 2, like any project, you always need to start from a problem. Identify the problem of the community, of the specific target, understand what is their need, and then find a solution. Probably most of you already know about the problem solution tree. Why there is a tree there, it's not random. It's one of the tools that helps you identify your problem, the causes, the facts, and the need, the solution, and everything. I didn't want to go deeper into it because, I mean, it's a good tool. You can learn about it, but it would be like too much time. And honestly, I wanted to talk about this in a different way, more like straightforward and direct. Because my suggestion is always to keep it simple. It's not only my suggestion, but it's also the European Union suggestion. Because in some guides, you see the objective, activities, outcomes, this with the arrows, it's what there is this graphic. So they say, we want to know what are the objectives, how you're going to reach these objectives, meaning the activities, what will happen thanks to these activities, so the outcomes, okay? So when you write the project, just be straightforward, like focused, explain. So my objectives are, etc. I will reach activities, the objectives through these activities. Okay, so I've done these activities. This is what will happen. So the results, the outcomes, okay? Just be really clear, very straightforward. Don't get lost. Just keep it simple and well structured. To see if we are really able to be that simple and straightforward, we will try to work on a project together. Really, really simple idea. I made up like in 1 minute. So this is just an idea, okay? And then together we will try to define the objectives, the activities, and the outcomes. So the idea, don't steal it because I actually like it. It's digital skills for you and you. So basically you can read it. Maybe you can take a few seconds to read it and you can tell me yes. And then I will do a recap of the idea. Okay? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. So when you're done, just tell me.
I actually got a question while reading it.
Yeah.
When we are describing about the problem that we are facing,
Mhm.
is it okay if we use that kind of wording as I say it on the presentation, or do we have to like rely more on statistical data or like hard evidence that we already know about the problem's existence?
Yeah. Of course, you need to have research, data, statistics. Sorry. Yeah, you definitely. I didn't write it here because, of course, it's just a really brief presentation, but you need to have it. And as a tips, when you mention something like a research or a data, they have to be really the last ones, okay? Let's say that up to 5 years old, they are fine. If they are older, I mean, let's say the need situation, need numbers, they try to measure it every year. So in that case, it must be really the last one, okay? If you don't find anything that is so new, but it's like older than 5 years old, yeah, than 5 years, then you have to somehow explain that, let's say, okay, I'm aware that this research is a bit old, but because of, and you find a way to explain it, we believe that the results or these results are still valuable. They're still, they're still talking about the present situation, that the situation didn't change. This is just one tip I'm giving here, but I will give you more also later. But yeah, you definitely need to have some research and data there. Any other question? You got the idea of the project?
Yeah, like, so
Yes.
basically you identify some need, no? And you try to support this need with also new data, no? Like fresh data, showing that this need is not only your imagination, but actually there is something saying that there is really this need, right?
Yes, definitely. And it's also good to say that, of course, you as an organization, because in theory, you should work already with this target, okay? So you should say that as an organization, you notice that already. A good practice is to have a sort of survey that you can do like before the application, so that you can write also this data and say, we already spread this survey among our youth, and yeah, they actually say that, blah, 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 or, also some experience from your organization, also to show that you really work with this target and that you know what you're talking about, okay? And then, of course, you need some more data that lie from Europe, if you can find, like, of course, best if they're from Europe. Then if you have some good data from the US, for example, sometimes I use that too, if they're really like good ones and they're really helping me to justify my project. But the data like about youngsters, of course, it's better if you mention European youngsters, because the Americans, for example, they can be different, you know. So that's another thing you have to take into consideration. Okay, so just let me know if you got the idea. So basically, it's really simple. The idea is that there's these NEET youngsters age 18-24. They live in rural areas. So for them, it's even more difficult. Let's say that with the data, we know that for them, it's even more difficult to find a job. And that a lot of these youngsters, let's say a big percentage of these youngsters, have to go to the city to find a job, sadly, because they would like to stay, but there is no job for them. So what do? We try to give them some digital skills in a way that they can work remotely. Okay, so they don't leave the rural areas, they're still in their community, so the community benefits from that. And they have a job, so they're not NEET anymore. Okay, so this is the very simple idea. But I would like to do this. So if you have the idea clear in mind, can you clearly identify what is the problem, causes, needs, and solution? Just one person each, like one person will tell me the problem, another one the causes and the needs and the solution. Just go for it. And let's start with the problem. So what is the problem in this project? In this project,
I can go with the problem. Maybe other people want to go with causes, needs, and solutions. The problem in that case would be that people like needs between 18 and 24 living in rural areas, they have lower digital skills, and this, well, the rest would be causes, no? But this is the problem. They have lower digital skills, and they, well, I think the problem would be better shaped saying that they have less access or worse access to jobs.
yes, also that's yeah, let's say this, yeah, could be a problem. It could also be shaped as a need, I would say. Okay, because what is the real problem here is that they don't have the digital skills. Yes, so they need digital skills, but the problem, what is the problem in this rural area? Why they're not working, for example? Because
lack of jobs and opportunities.
Exactly. So this is the problem. Okay.
Lack of
there is
good
no job.
internet, probably.
Sorry?
Even if you have good skills, but you live in the village where internet connection is not good, it's also a big problem.
Yeah, that's another thing we can consider definitely in a project. So the fact that there is no job, what is the cause of this? Someone wants to try?
That there is no job.
Exactly. So basically, the fact that these youngsters are NEET is the effect. Okay, so we have the problem, there is no job. The cause is like unemployed youngsters. So what do they need? They need something to get a job. Okay, so what is the solution? Let's give the youngsters some digital skills in a way that they can work. Where are they? For example, another fact is that they leave the rural area. Of course, it's not only one, okay? There are like the big problem is one, but then there are different causes, different effects, and also like needs and solution. But just for you to understand how you have to build, this is the way you build the tree, but you can do it just in this way. So the problem, this is what causes the problem. So this is the fact, the need, the solution. So to have the clear idea in your mind, like the whole project idea, because of course you will see that if everything is like connected, then the project is strong. and you will not have any problem, because then if you are not able to answer clearly to this, you will see that when you will start writing the project, you will find yourself a bit lost sometimes. So be sure that you know this, that you know all these things and the effects, everything about the project idea must be really clear in your mind. Okay, so now we know more or less, right? I know it's not enough because there will be a lot to say, but let's try. I always think that practice is the best way to learn. So let's start writing the objectives. I will write them, I will read them, and then you will tell me if they're good or bad. Okay. Let's say we already said the problem, what is the project about? So we basically teach digital skills to young people. We stop young people from moving to cities, and we had rural areas. All good? Can I go on and write the activities, or maybe I should work on these objectives a bit more? What do you think?
I think a bit more, because maybe stopping young people from moving to cities is not clear enough, and maybe, yeah, it doesn't sound so good.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe teach digital skills to young people so that they are able to work remotely or work more from home. And because of that, the rural areas will benefit, because they will also, I don't know, spend their money there. Not in that way to put it, but yeah.
Okay. So you think we should be a bit more specific?
A bit.
A bit. Okay. Someone else? Any comments?
Yep, there would be one from my side. Shouldn't the objectives be always smart? I sometimes find me unable to do it, to be honest. I'm like, okay, but if I have to talk about a theoretical concept, how can I make it smart? But we should at least aim for it.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. We will get there soon. But yeah, they will need to be smart, and I will explain in a moment what smart means. And I know it's really difficult to write objectives. It's, I think, one of the most difficult parts. And I can tell you, I read lots of projects. I lost a lot of time. I, let's say, improve projects written by others, or I work with clients. I did mentorship. And one of the most difficult things are the objectives. And what I can say that when the objectives are badly written, even when I have to improve a project, it's like I have to rewrite the project, because if you write badly the objectives, then it's really difficult to write a good project. That's why I wanted to focus a bit more on the objectives, because it's really important to understand how to write them. So we now we know that those are not good objectives. Okay. Just a second.
Martina, may I ask you one thing for us to understand a bit? In how many KA2 projects have you been involved? More or less?
Wait a second, that my housemate is calling me. 1 second, that I will tell her that I'm in a presentation. Sorry, really, because I didn't tell her. Just give me a second.
Okay. We all have.
It's like a cliffhanger. Ooh.
He opens and he sees all of us. Hello.
Hola.
Sorry, because she was keeping calling me. So you had time to think about the objectives, and I remember there was a question.
There is the question on how many KA2 projects, more or less, have you been involved?
I mean, involved because I write and I do implementation. So implementation, I was coordinating 2 KA2 and 1 KA2. No, I think, yeah, and 1 and 2 KA3 actually. And then write KA2, I think, I don't know, 20, 30 projects, but I read a lot of feedbacks. No, even more, I think, because then I work also, yeah, let's say 20 or 30 projects for sure I wrote myself. And then I read a lot of feedbacks. That's why I'm saying so, that this is one of the weakness of the project most of the time. Did you ask for a reason or just to
know more or less about how big your experience is? But okay, 20, 30 projects, I think you're talking from experience here. I just shut up and listen.
You didn't believe it, or?
No, I believe you. It's just to have a range, because, for instance, I was involved in the implementation of 2K Action 2, and I read them briefly, but I just wanted to know briefly how many have you, and
Yeah.
I think it's clear now.
Then, of course, you always find that project that is not well written that was approved. Okay, there it's always like that. But having like good pace in it helps you also in writing. Okay, it's not only for, of course, for the evaluation, but it will be way better for you if you understand that, and it's important if you want to do this. Not even professionally, but with good quality. Okay, so we said it. So they're very vague, not specific. We don't know who are these young people, what is their age. There is nothing written about. They're not specific. We cannot even measure them. So these are really bad project objectives. I'm trying again. Okay, let's go. So conduct digital skills workshop for NEET youth in rural areas. So we have more details here. Pair participants with mentors from tech industry. Okay, seems nice also, the idea. Host online job fairs for remote work opportunities. Good, that's another good idea. What do you think about these objectives?
It's better, no? Because you can measure, for example, how many job fairs you can make, or how many participants even you can reach. It's more traceable. So maybe at the end you can say if the objectives you write have been successful or not. For example, if you only reach 2 participants, no?
They are a bit more smart, let's say. I will explain what is smart. Okay, it could be. I'm not giving the answer yet, but someone else wants to try.
I wrote on the text that for me this kind sounds more like activities that you are going to implement in order to achieve some objectives. So this, like exactly like digital, like workshops, mentorship, and online job fairs, to me sounds more like what I'm going to implement, not like the final, like the end.
Okay, really good, Jesus. That was a bit tricky. I did it on purpose. It's bad. Why? Because they are not objectives, they are activities. This is a really, really common mistakes, because those are not, okay, I'm gonna go back. Those are activities. So we are saying what we are going to do. We are going to have workshops. We are going to do a mentorship program. We're going to have job fairs. So this is an activity. Okay. But what we reach this thanks to these activities, that we will enhance the digital skills of 150. I'm giving numbers here. So I'm very specific. Okay, so there are 150. So I can measure also this number. Okay. It's good for my indicators later, because you always need to give indicators. How old they are? 18, 24. Where are they from? Where they live in rural areas. We can add more specifics, like they are from low income families or something like that. Okay, we can add also other details based on the project, but this is already way better. We have more details, we have numbers, and we can define also the target group better. So reduce migration from rural area to urban areas by providing available career paths in rural communities. So here also we can give some number, reduce migration of 20%, for example, Promote economic and social development in rural areas through increased digital literacy and remote work opportunities. Okay, so those are objectives. How we are going to reach these objectives, and this is the way, so they're good. So yeah, exactly. So the objective must be smart. They have to be specific. They have to be measurable, achievable. They have to be realistic. Okay, we cannot say, I don't know, something crazy. No, it has to be realistic, relevant. It has to be relevant to the project. It has to be in line with the project idea and also with the Erasmus Plus priorities. Okay, let's not forget about the priorities and of the Erasmus Plus. I didn't mention it here, but of course, the European Union is giving us some guidelines, and we need to follow these guidelines and be in line with what they want. Okay, and time bound. We also need to tell them in what is the timeline that, like how much time will we reach these objectives. Okay. And I don't remember who mentioned it, but yes, they definitely have to be smart.
Okay, I have a question, Martina.
Yeah.
You mentioned that they should be relevant to the Erasmus Plus guidelines, no? Like the
Yeah.
Erasmus Plus guidelines. In your experience, is it interesting to also align them with the ODS goals? Objetivos Sostenible, like Sustainable Development Goals.
Yes, I use them a lot to, let's say, validate the project idea. That's always good. It's always good to refer to European policies, European initiatives, just to say, you see, this project is really in line with what you're doing. It's in line with the Erasmus Plus project, is in line with any other European policy. You always have to mention that. For example, I work a lot with sport projects, and there are a few documents, like official documents from the European Union. One is called the White Paper on Sport, really famous, and that's a must-have. You always have to mention, as it's written in the paper, blah, 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 this project does this, and it's very in line with this recommendation. Okay, so try to be smart also when you justify your project. Okay, in the relevance, and yeah, because there is the relevance part and its analysis. We will have a quick look to that, but definitely it's something to do. Did I answer your question?
Totally.
Okay, so I just wanted to focus on the objectives, just going to the activities. For example, in this project, we can have some workshop on digital skills, as we already saw before, mentorship programs, online job fairs, and community outreach. Okay, and these are activities. So what will happen from these activities? And here, again, we're giving numbers, because what is important also when you write a project, to be as much specific as possible. If you are able to, I say give numbers, but it's the way it is, okay? Also, when you describe the activities and you are going to involve 20 participants, repeat it. Don't give it for granted. You are going to say, I'm going to organize this training course with 20 participants, etc., etc. And if you're going to mention that in another part of the project, say it again, okay? The projects are really long. The evaluator have really short time to read it. So help them, okay? Don't really, just make it simple for them too, and for you as well. So the outcomes, you see, at least 70 participants will have a remote work. There will be 20% of youngsters less leaving the rural area. Just showing what is going to happen. And this is what they want, okay? Objective activities, outcomes. Very straightforward. What else? So we have a really good project idea. But we would say that with KA2 2, with KA2 1 actually, let's say that it's a cooperation partnership, okay? So we need to find partners. Probably already most of you know. I will just go quickly through some of the tools. This is Salto. Of course, if you know some good partners, keep it, because that's rare. If you don't know, you can go here. It's called Atlas Partner Finding, and you will have, let's say, list of all new partners. And then you can find it, the country, the topic, and everything. It's quite easy. This is one of the, let's say, tools. Another thing that you can do, and I use this a lot, and I think it's even better. Do you guys know this, the European Project Results Platform? Yes, no?
Yes, and I'm actually implementing a project right now, and I can't wait to add the results to it, and a fancy logo, of course.
Yeah, so this one is basically where all the approval project goes. How I use it personally for finding a partner. Let's say I'm writing this digital youth, and I need someone that is good with digital something. Okay, I'm just doing quickly, not very specific, but let's say I need digital. And maybe someone that has no sport, it doesn't, that has already done a big project, let's say. I don't know why I cannot take it away. Anyway, so I go in, I read, and I can take the partners, okay? If there is a project that is similar, it's really good to have a partner that has already implemented a similar project. For, I mean, not similar, let's say that they have the good skills, okay? Or they are working already on this topic. And this is also a tool for getting ideas for your project. And you always have to mention the European platform, okay? When you explain, I will show you later. But this Salto, and this you have to mention it, that you use it, okay? I will show you where exactly. Have you ever used it this way, looking for partnership or a project idea? Yes, no?
Yes, like as an idea, because I wrote a KA2 small scale, and doing some research, they told me that it's important that you write a project and about some needs that they are not already resolved. So it's important that I am not writing against something that someone already did. So I searched in the Erasmus Plus project results if someone had done something similar, no?
Yeah, because you can work from the result of another project, okay? You can say that you are continuing adding something new. It's not that you have to do always something new. It's basically impossible. Everything has been done.
Yeah.
But you can continue and say, they did this, and we think it's good, but we can add this something else. Okay. So it's not like a single project there, but they're not all connected. So this is also what they want. Okay.
And would you say it's good to mention like a project, like as this project, blah blah blah?
Definitely, yeah. Also giving reference. Yeah. Yeah, I will need to give you many calls about this, but yeah, mention, because there is a lot to say, really. But
yeah,
we will try to, yeah, at least give some info. And okay, then of course you can find it on Facebook groups, Instagram, provide the website on Google, you know, the usual research. Okay, where to apply? Because now we have the project, the partnership, we have quite a few things already. I guess you all know this. It's the official website. We work with proposals. Okay, then there's our other things. So it's call for proposal there. and you check. I was checking that before, so it was already. So basically, you have all the programs here. We are working with Erasmus Plus. There are no, basically these are prices. Let's go to this one, for example. It's Erasmus Charter for Higher Education. Here we have all the information. Because of course we are not completely lost. I mean, okay, to start the submission, you click here, then you move on. I'm not gonna do it because of course we're not starting an application now. But I wanted to show that here you have all the information about the call. So about Erasmus Plus, they will tell you, for example, call document. Okay, I'm not clicking it, but I will show you, I think it was the next one. What is the call document? It's the guide. Okay, I call it the Bible or the Quran or the Torah. Say what you want to say, but it's like it's the only thing you have to consider. Like the rules are these ones. These are the guidelines. No matter what other people say, you follow what is written here. Okay, I guess you all know there are all the different calls, the priorities, and here you can go on the different one. Okay, just one thing to really keep in mind. No. You can apply. I think I chose the wrong one. Of course, all the rules, the participants, etc. But the criteria of evaluation. Okay, okay, here, okay. Really, really read carefully this. This is the way they evaluate your project. Your project has to have everything. Everything. You know what I do? I copy, paste to have a guide, like guidelines. And see, did I cover this part? Yes, okay. Did I cover this one? Yes, okay. Really, really, because this is really important. Not only this part, but another thing that I will show you in a second. Because, okay, so there are, let's say that we are here. We are in the funding and tender portal. What happened? If it's a centrally managed calls, meaning that, let's say it's the European Commission managing it, we have one type of template, okay, one type of form. If it's the national agency, as it happens for the key action one, usually, but also for some key action two is in this way, the form, the application is different. Okay, I will show you. Probably we are more familiar with this one. We all know this one, right? This is a cooperation partnership project, but it's similar to a key action one. So in this case, what we do, we fill the application directly in the platform, right? Is that what you do for all your project? Or you did something different? Okay. So this is what is the PDF that you download. Of course, now it's just a template, it's empty. But this is what you feel. And I don't really like it, honestly, because I will show you another thing. This is usually key action one and some youth projects only. No, also a few projects in key action two. Other projects, they have, where is it? You did this one. Have you ever seen this template?
I've never seen that template. Where have you taken it from?
No one of you, really, never.
Yes,
No.
I've seen it. I just reacted through the hands up button instead of opening the mic. Actually, this one is for the centrally managed calls, and you get to have it along with an Excel sheet if you need to do budget calculations.
Exactly.
And yeah, this
What
is
call
for
it
the
was?
big money projects.
What call it was? Do you remember?
Oh, I've seen it even outside of Erasmus Plus. I've seen it on like all EU projects apart from you know, the Erasmus Plus key action ones where we get this not so nice platform
Yeah.
to fill info in. But otherwise, it's this template for all EU projects, more or less, with, you know,
Yeah.
some questions getting in and out depending on the project.
Yeah, really good. This is really true. So this is one of them. There are different templates. And yeah, of course, this is a very common one. Of course, the others are, it's the same, like this gray color, stuff like that. They change the question based on the call. But this one is for sport project in Erasmus Plus. It's for sport project and capacity building youth. Okay, it's not really this one, but it's very, very similar. I like it way more because you don't have limits. You have limits of page. You have 70 page only. I mean, only. It's a really good number, but believe me, you can write even more. Just to mention something that I said before, here, complementarity with other actions. And here you're going to write, because they also ask for it, explain how the activities are complementary to other activities carried out by other organizations. You see, and they also want the reference. So here you can really mention the projects that are in the platform of results and say this project, and sometimes I really write the code of the project, like ref, you know, this is the code, ref, blah, 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 number. This project did this. So my project is doing something similar, but we are innovative because we're doing something different. Because what they want here, the innovation. Okay, so you have to show that, yes, you're doing something that has been done in the past, similar, but I'm innovative. I'm doing something different. Okay. This is just one trick, but there are many more. I know I'm really running out of time. I'm really sorry. Really last thing, one thing that it's not really common in Key Action 1, actually they don't really exist, is the work package. And personally, when I saw the work package from the first time, I was like, oh my God, what it is, if you're not used to it, but no worries, it's actually really simple. It's even better. So just a way to organize the work, give the lead and the activities. This is a really basic example. Usually work package 1 and work package 5, they are, and they said it in the application, okay? Read it carefully. That's another thing I wanted to say. This application, you have to read what is written here, because it seems obvious, but I can tell that some writer, they don't, and they don't follow what is written, okay? But here it's written, for example, that the first one has to be, okay, somewhere, but trust me, it's written that the first one has to be project management and coordination. And the last one, it has to be impact and dissemination. So you keep it fixed. And then the others, usually the second one is the research. The third one is where you develop what you want to develop. In the fourth one, then you implement, you pilot, and you finalize it. And the last one, it's the communication, impact, etc. There is no, they can be more than 5, but I usually try to keep it like 5, maximum 6, but I wouldn't do it more. Of course, it's a really big project with a big budget, you might need more, but for our kind of project, I would go for 5 or 6. I'm done. Really sorry, it took longer. It was nice to see your interaction and your questions. These are my contact. I have an Italian organization. This is my email for the organization. And the second one is for my freelancing activity. Thank you. And sorry if I was so long, but now the floor is yours, or Jesus, you tell me, because I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it's us who should say thank you to you, no? Like we might agree on that. Thank you very much for giving it. I found it quite interesting. I would like to know what the others think and if maybe they have some questions. I will also say that you are freelancer for writing this KA2 project, so
yeah,
you are also part of the community for people maybe to take it into the consideration in the future to also maybe partner up with your organization. And yeah, if somebody has some questions, go ahead. I'm still recording, so I will record also the questions. Okay.
Also, some feedback after the question, because it's it's good for me to improve this part.
Totally. Well, just one thing before Alexia goes, that she got the hand raised. I would like to ask if we can use this presentation and if you can give free access to the documents that you attach in the Google Drive and all of that.
Okay.
Okay, so then Alexia, it's all yours.
Yeah, so thank you, Martina, for doing this, and I really appreciate it. Really, quite useful information and some new information to me. I really enjoyed a lot listening to you and following you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. And also, I want to ask you, what would be the difference if we contact partners on Facebook? I mean, for the project, for the evaluators, or rather than on Salto or other platforms? I mean, is this less credible or?
It's good. It's just another way to find partners. The problem with Facebook is that I tried. I'm not doing it anymore, honestly, because you get a lot of messages from people. They just want to be in project to get money. Let's be honest. This is the way. That's why I really use a lot the European platforms, because there you know the partner, you know who you work with other organization, the project that he has done. You know, it's way better. You're using a tool that the European Union is giving you. So you can even mention it. You say, you see, I found this partner here, has done this, and it's better. It's not wrong, Facebook, but it's just better. And you can also mention it in the application. It gives some value, because they want you to use these tools too.
Yeah, I could imagine, but thank you for clarifying.
I have another question since nobody is going. Maybe you want to go, Marlena?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Martina, so much. I would like to have more calls actually to learn more, because it was super quick. I still learned a lot, but I would like to learn even more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we all share that. Like, we would like to have a full course on how to write down KA2 projects, because I think that since most of us, maybe Alexia not yet and Carolina not yet, but the rest of us, I'm sure that we did. Okay, some people in the line. We wrote down at least KA1 projects, and we went question by question. And it's always nice to have some guidelines for each question, not just for the broader idea of the project. We would like to have some support from that. I don't know who's this guy, Adrian.
Yeah, I guess he's my colleague. Yeah.
Hello, Adrian. Welcome. So I think my question is more about budgeting, because I know that the KA2 tools, they have like larger budgets. So far, I've been in the projects that I've been involved, they were with budgets from 250,000 euros to almost 400,000. And I wanted to ask you, in your experience, what's the mark, or what changes the budget that you ask for? I mean, what are the ranges of KA2? Because there are some of them. And what changes, what kind of budget is allocated for each project?
Okay, so basically there are two. You have the small scale partnership and the cooperation partnership. There are different rules. I'm not gonna say that now. But the small scale partnership, they are for newcomers, meaning organization that have maximum 2 years of experience. Okay, and there is 30,000 euros and 60,000 euros as a budget. You have these two ranges. Then we have the cooperation partnership, and you have three: 120,000, 250, 400,000. How do you choose the budget? Good question. Of course, let's say, how big is the project? How long is the project? If you have a lot of activities, if you have, for example, some technologies, you have an app to create. An app is expensive. It really depends also how many partners, because if there are a lot of partners, they need to have money to implement the project. Okay. You will see that with a bit of experience, it will be really natural for you to understand what is the range that you will go for. Yeah, those I will say are the criteria: time, like activities that you want to do, what you create, and the partners also involved. Then, of course, there are others, but those are the main ones.
Okay, I think the next person in the line was Fatima.
Yes, sorry. Well, I'm super grateful for this talk, and it was not a question, more like a feedback, because I just recently wrote my first KA2, like a small partnership, and it's what you said. When I saw the packages, I was like, "Oof, what is this? Oh my God, so much information. I don't know what to put." But so your talk, really, I mean, it was very nice because I already know a little, so it wasn't like for me super helpful because I already had the knowledge. But as a feedback for you, I have to say I attended a KA2 talk before, and I was so lost because they started talking about money, tables, annexes, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And your talk has been so much to the point, very, very intuitive, and very easy to understand. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
If I had your talk before my application, I will be more relaxed, and it was a chaos for me because, as I said in the beginning, the entries in this kind of writing kind of thing projects are crazy. You have to ask your contacts, hey, have you written this? What do you put? What I am supposed to do in this part? So I'm super grateful for Jesus to give this space as Classes community for us, like, to share these things. It's very important, especially for people who are starting in this career path.
Yeah, really, thank you. I really appreciate this feedback, and I'm happy because it's what I wanted to do. I've done a course. I went to different talks and stuff like that. The feeling is always the same. You are lost. Okay. But because they go so technical and they don't understand that when you're new, you don't really get all those technical things, And because I started as a participant, I know how it feels like. Also, like when I saw the work package the first time, I was like, oh my God, what is this? Because I started with a youth exchange and you don't have work packages, or even the template. Okay, I did a course, but I didn't even know there was that template. No one told me, no one show you the template you have to fill. But then that's the job. The job is writing that template. But why no one really tell you, hey, this is the template and be careful here, you have to write this. That's why I really wanted to show what is the job in practice. And of course, there is way, way, way more to say. But was just to give you an idea of what it can be, this job. I mean, these writing projects, it's not necessarily a job. So, yeah, thank you. Really appreciate it.
I think the next one was Alexia. You also put your hand up again.
No, I just put it down. It remained raised.
Okay. Well, if there is any more questions, no more questions. Okay, we can close it here. I will also stop the. Okay.